Just preparing. All right, we got it. Okay, let everybody in here. Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Perfect timing. Time to get settled into our full moon evening together. Uh, Hopefully, you guys were feeling the energetic shift last night. A lot of people were even like, after, I think the full moon happened around 12:30 Eastern or so. Hello, Nikki, in the afternoon. And so even by the afternoon, people were feeling a little bit of a lighter shift kind of going on. So it's been a nice transition. And even you can feel last year's energy was a lot different than this year's energy. This year's energy has been very fast paced so far and kind of moving forward and sort of pushing us and urging us a little bit. But what I've been finding is that there's been this um, kind of like this need for rest, and people have been going through these really huge types of ascension symptoms, I would call them, or full moon symptoms, even where we've been really emotionally sort of charged and kind of exhausted and sort of needing that rest, but sort of beating ourselves up for taking it. And so, even into this weekend, just the astrological shifts and changes that we're having, I'll encourage you to take a little space this weekend, just because it's kind of like Uranus ends up going direct tomorrow, and so that means that all the planets are finally moving, and we're not sort of in this, good evening, Heather. We're not in this sort of being drudging up the past to sort of look at everything, um, bringing us back through lessons. We're actually really moving forward for about 8, 9 weeks until April, when we have an eclipse, which is a major eclipse that goes across the states. And so this is kind of like been our preparing time. We've been even talking about over Christmas, feeling that metamorphosis kind of shift happening, where it's like your things are shifting. You almost can't quite put your finger on it. But this month, with us, with the sun going into Aquarius and the moon being in Leo, it's like these direct oppositions where we get to see all of the things that we're capable of, but still kind of need that rest and that discipline, and allowing us to get focused. And right now is kind of like the precipice of having the biggest planetary cheerleaders in our back pocket, allowing us to make really good, discerned decisions based on some of the turmoil and chaos that's been going on, and being sort of like, it's like we've always wanted to know what was keeping us stuck. And it's like the universe is going, well, here it is in a big, shiny bow in a package. You want to see what's going on? Here it is. And so we're able to hopefully, slow ourselves down enough and not be so busy that we're actually seeing these things for what they are and what they're being brought forward to us with. Good evening, Heather. Welcome. So it's kind of like being shown some stuff, and this is what full moons are really good at, showing us that stuff that has been kind of like those things that we didn't want to see, kind of those things that were buried pretty deep and pretty far down, and they have been coming up just to sort of, I've been saying it's a good thing. It's really a good thing if you're being challenged right now, if you're questioning things, because this is the symptom of actually shifting. And it's been really a neat experience for so many people, and so many star seeds and people that are in the healing realm and in the coaching sort of um, realm, I guess you would say, where we are seeing things now. We're kind of seeing um, galactic beings, or we're seeing connections with things. We're seeing a lot of those angel numbers and stuff. I don't know if you guys have been seeing numbers pop in and out Um, a lot of times I even had a night where I woke up at like I don't know, like 2:44, 3:44, 4:44. It kept sort of happening where I was waking up at the exact same times. And so those numbers have been showing up for people, the angel numbers that you'll end up seeing, especially closer to like Wednesday, Thursday. They'll be like super heightened connections and soul just idiosyncrasies that you'll be like it's inevitable, you'll be able to palpably physically see them, bringing it into the physical realm, so you'll be able to see these repetitive numbers that mean so much. And that's because Thursday, I think it's Thursday, is a master day, February 1st, whichever day that is. That's another master day that we have, so it's like this little portal that opens, and it's like talking directly to your angels and messengers and spirit teams. So it's pretty cool. So lots of really exciting things happening, although it seems like for most people, they're actually describing it almost as like the worst it's ever been, or it's having these huge sort of blowout type things or huge realizations that people and things and emotions and things that have been going on just really aren't fitting your life anymore, and you almost can't see a future with them. And it's hard to kind of wrap your head around that. And that may not mean that relationships have to end completely, but there's ends of things happening. And that's because of this Pluto return to Aquarius that you guys might have been hearing about, that hasn't happened for like 240 years. And the last time Pluto was in Aquarius like this, it was like American and industrial revolutions and huge undertakings and changings. Death and rebirth is what Pluto is all about. So literally the death of the old ways, and this is how we're changing and shifting right now, is that to actually allow these shifts to happen, we have to let go. And there's ceremonies and things like that that people do that are quite intense and extreme, and right down to things like amazing sun dances and rituals where people have hooks in their back, where they're actually dragging skulls behind them, dancing for days without food and water to truly release these blocks, these old ancestral ties, doing the healing work of generations. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So it's kind of something that we can do on something like a full moon, is set some intentions. We don't have to go to those extremes, but we can choose to not carry things like that, because we're actually making choices on a daily basis, what we're going to continue on and what we're going to let go of. And this full moon, this first full moon of this year, is all about allowing us to see what it is that we no longer have to carry, that really, it's amazing, these stories that we've taken on, when we get this opportunity in this light to look at them, not from a judgmental or from a, like I was talking about last week, that sort of dark father energy, like you're going to be punished if you don't do it right. More so, we have this supportive father energy, this masculine, protective, safe type Leo energy coming in right now, um, with the ability to help us feel that support, to be able to really truly make some of these shifts in ways that support us long term, not these, like, we're in Aquarius, so we're all feeling a little squirrely, like we all want change. It's like something needs to shift, but I don't know what it is, and we're sort of in this little squirrely kind of place. And when we can go into our hearts, we're never going to make the wrong decision. So this is where we go back to taking some time to actually journal, to actually do some of those gratitude practices, some of those amazing intention settings daily to keep ourselves focused. But I love full moons because we can intensify this and maximize this, just like this full moon has been bringing forth this week, a lot of this intensity and this maximization of the lessons that we need to learn. But we're actually, this is the different thing, we're actually consciously seeing this, wanting to make choices, wanting to make shifts, seeing these patterns and these stories for what they really are, patterns and stories that we don't have to continue on with. We can really choose to create new stories, new versions, new chapters for ourselves. So there's a lot going on planetarily. I figured the easiest way was to kind of break it down a little bit day by day because today was really powerful. It's literally the day after the full moon. So with full moons, it's like this portal the day before, the day of, the day after. Really powerful to still do things like full moon rituals. So before we dive into meditation, I'm going to give you guys just a little sort of 5 minute full moon ritual sort of um, dissertation that you can kind of break down and do yourself. You can take some of the journal prompts and things like that moving forward. And maybe after this meditation, you'll be inspired to just put your pen to paper and just ask some intentional questions and allow the pen to just write. Or maybe you're a tarot card person and you might want to bring out your cards. And I love on a full moon doing a 4 card spread where you ask, what is it that I need as a message today on this full moon? And then I ask, what is it that I need to bring in? What is it that I need to let go? And then I ask for any other additional messages just with 4 cards. And they're always really, really fitting. It's always, I just pick a deck that seems to talk to me. And just do a little 4 card pull on a full moon. So I'm going to go through a little ritual type thing that you guys can do for yourselves, depending on what it is that you want to bring more of into your life. And but first we'll just kind of go a little bit day by day. So right now, literally, we've had this super fast moving solar maximum that's happening. It's an 8 year, it's Saturn's literally year-long influence that's been going on. The last time that we actually had everything where it was like this today was in 1979. So we've never had indications of a high solar cycle like this before in our lifetime. It's only been once where there was a major shift of consciousness on a collective level like this, where we've been really feeling on a collective level that need to change, that want to change, that being ready to awaken to. I don't know, maybe you guys have been even noticing this week, like ringing in your ears or kind of headachy, like a pressure in the front of your head, or maybe even in the back of your head a little bit. Physical things, like it's really kind of tapping into the physical body where all of a sudden you'll just have pain in a place that you haven't had before. It'll just be kind of trying to get your attention. There might have been some different realizations that you've been having, some weird sort of super tired feelings all of a sudden where you just literally have to go and lay down. A lot of times when you're doing something that's bringing you out of vibration, like even having a drink or something like that, that's going to lower your vibration, it hits you a lot harder. It's been interesting for people. They've been really noticing this, like this solar maximum hasn't been at this kind of a peak for a really long time. So it helps us just understand the weather of what's going on up there. We're not losing our minds. It's like there's some really intense changes that are going on, but it's all literally made to bring up some of this resistance so that we can propel forward, so that we can actually really use our inner authority. And 2024 is going to be a year where things physically happen very quickly, again, because of where Pluto is, but because in this next 8 weeks, we have no retrogrades, things are moving really forward. And there's going to be a lot of transitioning happening come the spring. There's going to be a lot of um, actual physical death and rebirth of things, of old habits of people being animals even that are going to end up transitioning, and it's going to happen a lot quicker. So it's almost like we're being prepared for some pretty big times where we're going to be able to need to be we're going to need to be able to keep our emotional wits about us. We're going to need to be able to manage our emotions and to really not let those limiting beliefs. We've been, as these little star seeds, I keep on seeing this sprinkling of star seed messages, star seed sacred contracts being shown to people, having all these star seeds just literally being lit up so that we can create this collective peaceful experience moving forward. And this week is probably the most supported time we will have to really make these good decisions that will be lasting. And it's it's not that we have to do everything all at once. It's just one little change, one little thing we've been thinking about, we're actually doing. We're finally, we're not just sitting and listening to the meditation. We're actually really breathing. And this time too is really good for like a breath work meditation or, doing the next couple of weeks, do the shadow work, do the meditations that come up that talk to you that, really feel good. Allow yourself to actually experience some of those treatments, some of those experiences, so that you can allow yourself to release, to let go. My body's releasing, just saying that, to be able to shed some of that. It's almost like in a full moon ritual, writing it down on a paper and holding it out and letting the moonlight just dissolve it, literally just allowing yourself to put this stuff from pen to paper and put it out into the universe, just asking for help, trusting. It's like we're being lifted right now to be able to do this. So um with this weekend, we're going to feel Uranus going direct. So all of a sudden, it's like that space between the breath. It's almost like um, being in between timelines this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be going inside as much as possible, going into your heart, allowing your physical body to kind of catch up to this astrological body and energetic work that's been going on, and this shifting. Because I feel like even this meditation tonight will be nice. I really have this intention of holding a cleansing and clearing space just for the physical body, the energetic, really almost Wizard of Oz style, keeps on popping into my head. So if we have time, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to try not to talk too much, but this is listening to your body's intelligence. If you're exhausted this weekend, don't push it. Allow yourself to stay home and rest. If you feel yourself feeling emotional, allow yourself to actually move into this emotion a little bit. Ask what it's telling you. Ask what it's saying to you. Ask what it's, what it wants to achieve by coming out to play today. Really give yourself that look at the good, bad, and the ugly of it. Like, ask yourself what's good about this, what's bad, what's ugly about this. Allow yourself to go into that for just a few minutes, because we are so good at keeping busy. In fact, I've been hearing people saying things like, I really find myself getting sucked into my phone lately. And to the point where we were talking about conspiracy theories and like, is there an algorithm that's sucking us in more? But it's truly this noticing of where we're spending our time. And so you're noticing you're getting sucked in. Well, this is the perfect time to go and do your yoga, or to go and look up a breathwork video, or even to just change off Facebook to YouTube to something that is serving you, rather than, taking down your vibration, or in fact wasting your time, where then you're going to feel bad about it, right? We have such little time to waste in a day, yet we can find ourselves, I think, more than ever being sucked into our phones, just because it's a kind of a clean distraction. It's not hurting anybody, but it's again taking us away, distracting us from working through. And sometimes you just need that break, right? It's not, we always say it's simple, but it's not easy to do this work. But this is the time. This is like allowing yourself to do it right now is going to make sure that you're not having to do it like crazy. Like, I feel really good this full moon. I don't feel like it's horrendous. It's just been such beautiful aha moments with every single person that I've been encountering and been around that is going through this exact same thing. It's like things couldn't be more in alignment. Just feeling that flow right now gives me that motivation to actually really start enjoying the things that I'm doing and getting it out there a little bit more, starting to let go some of those limiting beliefs that all happen so naturally. So we have lots of lots of innate intelligence, lots of intuition that's coming through now for people a lot more than it has before. We're getting a lot of aha moments. We're feeling a lot of aha moments. We're feeling like a lot of insights, and sort of almost like conversations, voices that we're hearing. And for some, they're realizing that's because they're actually more connected to the galactics and the planets and all this kind of stuff than they thought they were. Others are just finally starting to listen to their gut a little bit. And then, I mean, of course, there's some that aren't really moving at all, but generally, when we're even attending a full moon meditation, we're kind of in flow. We're sort of in that. Um, cosmic shift that the collective is going through. It's just a matter of doing some of this fine tuning. And this week is the perfect week to kind of do some of this fine tuning, reset some of your goals from the beginning of the year, reset where you're going, notice what you've been doing that hasn't been feeling good. Like if it's just acting a certain way or feeling a certain way or, noticing a lot of people have been noticing things about themselves that they don't necessarily like that much. And that's because it's not their authentic self. We're seeing who our true authentic selves are. We're really starting to finally understand that. And if we're doing or feeling something that's bringing us into that lower vibration or making us triggered or making us react in a way that we're not liking, it's often because it's not in the best in the best intention for our soul's expansion. And our soul's expansion is exactly what we want. So I'm always looking off to the side because I can see everybody's names and it all in one place and then list them rather than having to look through the pages of people on the top. So I apologize. I'm always staring over to the side. But I want us to really take this weekend to be able to go inside, go into the heart a little bit, take a little bit of time, do a little bit of that breath work, and really understand that we might want to really jump ahead into this new, but this is the letting go phase. This is the death phase. This is the Pluto um, literally allowing these old things to die off so that we can create this new. So we have to almost be patient. It's like we have to understand the dedication and the discipline and the drive that it's going to take and really get grounded and stable into moving forward with that. Um, Monday is really, it has a lot of, there's Mercury conjuncting Mars, which means a lot of mental energy is finally starting to come back as we've probably felt a little bit depleted because of this big shift that's been coming up here. And so finally, it's like you almost have the foot on gas again on Monday. You finally get to sort of claim your full power back and you get to kind of rev the engine a little bit and really see what's of the most and highest importance to you and have some of this higher awareness coming in today because of spending the weekend in a little bit of the heart space and really allowing some of this cleansing and purging to happen this weekend. So we understand, we know, why I'm sort of harping on this so much is the way we think, the way what we believe is creating our future. It's creating our personality, which is creating our personal reality, right? So it has this longevity associated with it in this energy this week of what we're planning and what we're deciding to do and what we're kind of feeling good about. And you'll have these opportunities for these voices to be coming in, these aha moments. And so to really be able to listen to that, rekindle that kind of ancient connection that maybe we didn't even know we had, um, is really going to be important in us acting on the spot. So when we do get triggered or when that energy starts to want to contract a little bit, we'll feel it right away and we'll be able to adjust really quickly rather than sort of getting sucked in a little bit more. But it's going to have this sort of certainty and this really good feeling behind it of support and kind of knowing where we're going. So like I was talking about having these new footings going into the early part of the week, we have some Venusian energy, some Venus energy coming into coherence with Saturn around Wednesday. Um, or sorry, that happens on the weekend as it sort of comes into about Wednesday. We end up having this solar light, I guess you could say, now that the full moon is starting to wane a little bit, of anything that was still in the dark. So some of those shortcomings, some of the behavior patterns, some of the self-blame or the grief or the judgment and the things that we actually really need to change are going to be coming into light around Wednesday, Thursday. We're really going to start seeing how closely connected those angels are. We're going to really start seeing some of our deeper reasons for existence, some of the things that are really important to us. For a lot of us, we know what we want sort of, or we're feeling like we know a little bit more of what we want, but it's really going to come into clarity come the middle of the week. We're really going to start feeling as January wraps up and we go into February 1st into this master day, we're going to really kind of start feeling lifted. Like you're going to feel a little bit stronger. You're going to feel a little bit more sure. You're going to, because we're really rewiring the brain right now. We're really getting this neuroplasticity working. Even by doing something like a full moon ritual, what you're doing is you're teaching your subconscious where it is that you want to go in a way that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it's very um, physical. And this Leo moon really kind of likes that. So as we get to the end of the week and the beginning of the month, we're really seeing our next life's phase. So we're really kind of seeing how far we're advancing. We're going to see where we were even like a year ago, even the last new moon in Leo, which was in the spring. I think it was in April last year. We're kind of, this is like the closing point of that. So look at how much differently you deal with things on a spiritual, on a personal growth level. It's pretty wild, actually, when you look at how far you've probably come since then, and how much you've learned, and how much you have honed in a little bit more of what it is that you do really want to create. So when we're thinking about, I just want to make sure I got most of my points there before, because I want to really jump into doing the full moon ritual. I wanted to just talk a little bit more about Leo with this full moon being in Leo, because I talked a lot about um, the sun being in Aquarius, which is really huge, really shifting, transformational. But in Leo, it's kind of bringing us back to how we portray ourselves. Leo is sort of like the person on stage that, how they look, how they present themselves, how you view them, and so for a lot of people, they're feeling things in their knees, which is also physically where we're sort of presenting ourselves. And so this is, look at how stiff your knees are. There's probably a little bit of resistance around there that needs to be focused on, work through, just allowing those knee chakras to cleanse and clear, but also seeing the truth, the real authentic truth about what it is that you do want to portray yourself as. This Pluto coming in here and really showing us those things that we have been ready to let go of, those identities of us that are kind of, we always say they never die, but there are parts of us that are dying off because we're seeing them in the light in a way that it's like, why did I ever think that? And we blame our parents for a lot of it. And this is one beautiful thing that I've been seeing with people too, is they've I want to say, we're just going to use the word blamed. They've blamed their parents for things, saying that, or even thinking, just think about this. This may resonate with you, it may not. But you may have blamed your parents for certain things that perhaps had gone on, that they tried their best, and a lot of them have passed on. And we still, we held a lot of blame for them. And we've actually, over these last couple of weeks, been doing a lot of healing around that, whether we've wanted to intentionally or not, it's happened, where people have just had this new perspective on their parents and done a lot of forgiveness, even though it wasn't what they actually intended to do, but it happened, where they have been going through some of this forgiveness work with their parents, understanding this different reconceptualizing and reperceptualizing, even without trying, in that they tried their best. They had a pretty crazy upbringing. The fact that some of them were born in the war and lived through this and that. We see now how we have to adapt and how we have to kind of make things work, and how tough it must have been for them. And to, like, I often say, God, I can't believe my mom, like, the things I put her through, just running off, traveling all over the world, like, da, da, da. I like I would be packed in my kids' suitcases. It's just, things are so different. The things that we can go through as far as forgiveness and about reperceptualizing some of these old relationships, but some of these old stories that we were told at the same time. And we can really look at them now and go, geez, why did I ever think that? That's so silly. Like, I'm not stupid, or I'm not, these things that we can truly let go of, these things that we were told, like, you're going to be a horrible mother, or you'll never da da da, like, these things we heard, they stayed with us on a cellular and energetic level. And these are the things that we can sort of choose to let go right now, to be able to actually move through. And this amplified time is allowing us to do this in sort of super speed. And so that's why it's been a lot, but it's going to get to be a lot over the next couple of months as we move through this real growth period. the death, this death sort of phase will be worked through, and we're going to go through this growth period. So it's all for the greater good. And this is all preparing us to be grounded and stable, to be able to go through this and to know that we have the power to really help um, navigate where it is that we want to go. And so you may have been noticing some people, even yourself, having these attributes of Leo popping in for Leos and even for Aquarius birth signs right now. They're noticing it a little bit more extremely, but these are things that may be triggering you, things that may be popping up in your field, in your life for certain reasons or another. Some of the harsher Leo traits can be, you might be feeling like, oh God, you're being so lazy if you're resting. You might be beating yourself up for that. And you might be noticing people that are lazy or that are kind of prideful or who are extra competitive, or you may know someone that is a really kind spirit and got taken advantage of. They're like easy targets, it seems. So that may even be something that's triggering for you. Stubbornness or being inflexible or being kind of arrogant or needing some recognition. That might be something that's showing up just in the Leo sign. It's going to just allow us to work through any of that stuff. If we have any jealousy, if we have any anger, those kind of things are going to come up to be worked through right now. And then we're also on a positive note with Leo, the things that we can sort of encompass and embrace are being known for leadership and like strength and protection, being creative, being passionate and ambitious. Um, the really good sense of humors we can tap into that might be really lighting us up. We might want to be around people that are kind of passionate and that are determined. Like we might want to encompass some of their determination or their honesty or their fairness, their optimism and their friendliness, like because they're a kind soul. Leos are such a courageous natural born leader that they don't even know it sometimes, but we see it, we see it. So tap into that energy of being able to see the unseen, especially in yourselves. Tap into some of those leadership abilities and some of those strengths that you have, because those will really be shown to us right now. So when we think of doing a little bit of a ritual. I love doing a ritual, especially on this first full moon of the year, because it's really super powerful. Never mind all the other planetary influences that are going. There's some months where I'm like, I don't even do a ritual on this particular month, just because Mercury's in retrograde, this isn't that. Things I don't even know. I don't want to, if I'm not super clear on what I'm manifesting, I'm not going to go into this meditation, but or ritual. But I think a full moon ritual on a month like this month is so important, because we need to be set and clear on our intentions going forward, because whatever it is that we're focused on is going to manifest big time. So we want to make sure that it's clear and stable and that we're going in the frequencies of joy and love and peace, rather than going into those frequencies of lack and not having enough and worrying all the time and the angst and the anxiousness. We don't want any of that to intensify, because it will. So we pick a day to do it, whether it's day before, day of, day after meditation. You can even do something tomorrow. It's still very powerful. I don't know if there's any scientific tests on how much things can wane after, but we do know that the power really lasts for a few days around. Some even say up to 3 days before and 3 days after, where I've totally done rituals on that point, just because it's time. You can start and finish by either singing a song, chanting. Some people use a bell or a singing bowl, or they just have a little gong, or they even have a pot that they actually use with a softer stick to make a noise as far as an invocation and a closure. You can make a little altar for yourself where you actually set the intention of what it is you want to bring more of into your life. So say it's love. You want to bring more love. You want to bring more healthier relationships into your life. So go around your house for a day or two and gather some stuff that feels good. Salt always feels good to have on an altar. It's very cleansing, purifying, protecting. Stones, you might have some crystals that just feel good. If it's love, I love using rose quartz or any sort of pink or red colored stones, are often tiger's eye, like a red tiger's eye in sparking some passion, some clear quartz, even, anything that sort of feels good, anything that correlates to the color pink that you associate with love, flowers, roses, anything. If you have rose essential oil, it's super amazing. I go with green colored things because that's the color of the heart chakra. So it's a beautiful thing to have, like, say, a green scarf on your, and an altar can be a shoebox. It can be a, um, it can be a counter. It can be a little spot on the ground outside. It can be absolutely anywhere that you want it. You just anoint it as a sacred space where you're gathering these things that allow you to think about that. You can think about, if there's a wedding ring of your grandmother's or something like that that you want to put there. If there's some incense or some sage or some medicine, some herbs, some medicines from the earth, some shells, some feathers, any kind of nature that you want to incorporate into it. You can bring a bowl of water. You can bring a candle. You can bring, you always want to have a pen and paper so that you can write whenever. And I like to sort of get all of the elements in there if I can. So you just have something for air, something for earth, something for water, something for fire, and something for metal. And just bring those, whatever it might be. Sometimes there's a picture with a picture frame that has a little bit of metal on it, or like you can definitely get inventive. If you don't have one of the elements, there's not going to be any detriment to that. It's just going to be more powerful and strong to you if it's balanced, bringing in all of the elements so that you can help shift and manifest into whatever it is that you want to. And then you want to set the intention. You want to set almost like an invocation where you could say something along the lines of divine light and wisdom, be with me today. Please surround me with a high healing frequency of all the clearest energy and light. You can ask that your energy be protected and uplifted, and just ask that the divine support you at this time. Allowing loving light, healing frequencies to come through you. You can invoke the crystal chambers. You can invoke your archangels and all your spiritual helpers. You can ask them to come along, as long as you thank them at the end for being there. And you just ask for it in accordance of the highest and divine will and the highest and divine path. Just sort of setting that intention. You can listen to a meditation. You can sit and just ask questions for a few minutes, sit in your heart and just ask yourself what's really going well already in your life. Raise your vibration a little bit. Think about the gratitude that you have. What do you love and appreciate about yourself? What kind of things do you just love about yourself? What kind of things are you thankful for right now? Once you start sort of thinking of these things, they come forward even more. What would create more magic in your life? What would create more peace and harmony in your life? What kind of things do you feel grateful for? And just start writing. Just allow yourself to actually sit and ask questions and write the answers. You can start with, I feel really grateful for this full moon and to be able to have this enlightenment and know that I am a star seed, that I am connected to the divine, to know that I can create more abundance and love in my life. And speaking of abundance, you want to make an abundance altar. You can put coins in a cup. You can end up putting things that remind you of abundance. You can have fruit or vegetables, anything that sort of reminds you of prosperity. I love using cinnamon, herbs like rosemary, things like that, bay leaves. They're really good for abundance. Doing those kind of things. If you want to do it for health, you can do something along the lines of having a healthy fruit or vegetable on your altar. You can have you can put your yoga mat on your altar, for goodness sakes, if that's something that you just want to really get stronger at doing. Your herbs or your vitamins, anything you want to sort of charge up, you can put on your altar. And speaking of charging, I like charging my crystals the night before and the night of a full moon, just so that I have them all charged up. And I even make moon water, where you just take a glass pitcher, and we're in the tundra out here. So I don't put it outside, but I put it on the windowsill inside, that is literally perfectly reflecting the full moon pretty much all night. So I love to just charge up some water and have that to be able to drink during my ritual. if I'm doing it. And then at the end, literally, I light the candle at the beginning, at the end, and smudge yourself, smudge the room, smudge. You can actually go around smudging your whole house during a full moon ritual, or any time. Taking your cedar or your sage or your sweetgrass or your Palo Santo, whatever it is, and just going around asking your whole house to be cleansed, asking for this beautiful divine help because it's there at all times for us to be able to tap into. And with that, I feel like if we were to do something along that lines and then virtually say thank you at the end, feel grateful for the teachings, the learnings. It's not all going to come at once while you're in this little space, but getting yourself cleansed and cleared, asking for that cleansing and clearing for yourself, for your body. We're going to do a little bit of that tonight. So you can even take some of the wordings that I use in the meditation to be able to cleanse and clear your own space, your body whenever you're feeling it. Those knees are aching, you can do a meditation like that and it actually takes it away. It's pretty incredible sometimes. So we're going to tap into this beautiful Leo full moon that we have going on here, showing us all the things that we need to see right now to make those big shifts that are ready to be made this year. This is a powerful year. And I know that I often say, this is a big shifting time, but this is really, we can actually feel like that caterpillar that needs to sort of crawl into the cocoon, like we're ready to have this shift happen, where a lot of us are getting this clarity like we never have before. And so this gives us a chance to amplify that and magnify it and make sure that moving into this next little section of pre-eclipse energy with no retrogrades happening and feeling more flow than we felt in a long time, feeling more energy and more mental clarity about what it is we need and what it is that we want, and really actually following that up with some discipline and some masculine sort of physical energy, allowing not so much the do, but allowing the physical to be a part of our experience, really tapping into our bodies, really where we haven't been living in them for a little while, where we've been existing in them, but really not living in them. We're able to kind of tap into this. It's kind of like we always wait for things to break down or go really bad before we make a change. Well, this is the opportunity to make that change before things go bad. It's kind of like this is your sign to make the decisions that you needed to really go forward right now, because you're going to be supported as much as cosmically possible. If there's going to be an easier time to do it, it's going to be right now because it's going to feel good. And if we don't do it, it's going to kind of smack us in the face. So we kind of know, we've been warned a little bit that this is the time to really take it seriously and really start allowing ourselves to let go, stop dragging around some of these things that just really haven't been working for us anymore that we've been seeing. So I'd love for you guys to get into a comfortable meditative place where you can either sit with your back fully supported, or you can lay down and just relax and be able to listen to my voice for a few minutes. We're going to take a nice little journey together tonight. In the next couple weeks in our group, we're going to be going a little bit more into some shadow work and allowing some stuff to really do some healing work, anything else that sort of needs to be seen, especially for the mid to end of week next week. But for tonight, I want us to really start thinking about that area of our life that we want to just bring a little bit more energy into, just a little bit more clarity into. Set the intention tonight to really create a little bit more flow in one or two areas of our lives, maybe something that has been talking to you for a little while. A lot of people are feeling big career shifts right now with Saturn. A lot of people are feeling really big shifts in self-care. shifts in relationships, shifts in your living situations. People are even moving. There's some big stuff going on. So we always like to think about sort of the core for really living a life that you love. I just really want to create more love in my life. I really want to love my life more every day, really live that full potential. There's others that really want to be their true nature and purpose, really start allowing their light to shine. All of the things that they've learned up until now, they're ready to really start letting themselves shine a little bit. And there's others that may want to just sort of really embrace being their creative, powerful force in their life, to really understand that you have the choice. Maybe you want to bring a little bit more stability and balance into being that predominant creative force in your life. And maybe you want to increase health and vitality a little bit, and just think about what sort of feels the best for you. And just hold that in your space right now. And just how would that feel? How would it feel to really have that? How would it feel to wake up every day just feeling like you were living your true purpose and that you were really creating change on a big level? How would it feel to just feel in control of your emotions and just feel good about actually not having to run off anywhere, being that creative force in your life, taking time each day to do what you wanted to do, what you needed to do, living your passion, living a life you love? What does it really feel like to do that? What does an average, perfect sort of random Tuesday or Thursday look like for you? You get up, you want to go have a nap, you want to go lie on the beach, you want to take a couple coaching calls, make enough money to be able to go on your next trip. What does it look like for you? What does it feel like to really be that healthy and vital being that you know you can be really bringing yourself into how it would feel? And I want you to just take a couple of nice deep breaths. As you breathe in, I want you to breathe in through your nose, nice and deeply, filling up your belly and your chest. And then as you relax and breathe out, I want you to think release and let go. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths, just connecting with your belly, connecting with your breath, noticing what your breath feels like as it's coming in. And see if you can slow down your exhale a little bit, just allowing your exhale to slow as you relax your shoulders, relax your face, relax your eyebrows, relax your forehead. And imagine that there are some beautiful, strong roots that are starting to grow out of your tailbone, out of your sacrum, out of your bum, wherever you're sitting or lying, out of the bottom of your body, out of your feet. And they're just tapping down deep into the crystal grid of Mother Gaia, allowing these roots to go down into her deep crystalline core, grounding yourself like a tree does, grounding its roots. And almost imagine that the earth can give you back any light codes, any frequency raises, any altered versions of this metamorphosis of cellular regeneration can all come up from the earth, straight into your feet, straight into your body. Like you can feel the light of your body starting to change as you've tapped into the earth. Just feeling that light energy coming from the earth. I want you to imagine now that there's a light that's moving throughout your whole body. And you can see a color to this light. It's like liquid plasma that's starting to move through your feet and your legs. It's starting to cleanse and to clean and to clear and to transmute any cellular energy, any emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, any energy that needs cleansing in the lower body, in the legs, in the pelvis, in the hips. It's starting to just transmute and cleanse and clear. You can literally see the colors start to change in your body as it moves up through the sacral plexus and the solar plexus, moving through all your energy centers and all your physical centers. All of the organ systems are starting to get transmuted by this light, starting to get cleansed, starting to heal, starting to light up, so much so that it doesn't even look like a body anymore. It just looks like this light being, as that light moves up into the heart and through the throat, through the head, through the eyes, through the forehead, through the top of the head, and just feeling that light starting to take over the whole body. I want you to imagine, as this light gets up to the head, that you can actually feel the full moon's energy start to radiate down through your crown chakra. And this new light is coming into the body and now sweeping through the whole spiritual realm, your energy field, your aura, just cleansing, protecting, healing. This light is just going into every cell of the body that needs it right now. And as your body starts to light up, you can open your eyes in this realm and see a path that's unfolding in front of you. This is almost like a yellow brick road, almost like a golden bricked pathway that's always been there, but in this new full moon's light, you can see it so clearly. And it's almost like these patterned blocks are starting to be placed down in front of your feet one at a time, and starting to create a path or a roadway that you just feel drawn into going down. And I want you to feel your body, your light body, starting to move along this yellow brick road, along this golden puzzled path, like these blocks are just laying down one at a time for you. We're going to call in all of our spirit team, all of our galactic guides, all of our animal spirit guides. We're going to call in Archangel Michael from the south with the element of fire, just allowing us to help cleanse and burn away anything that doesn't serve us anymore, anything that we're ready to just release. Helping us with our relationships and with our self-love. Archangel Michael will protect us and keep us safe. This fire's burning strong. I'm calling in from the west, Archangel Gabriel, with the water just washing, showering our soul, showering our spiritual realm, cleansing and clearing anything, deepening our intuition, helping us know that time to just go in and reflect, helping us to tap into that element of water and groundedness. Bringing in Archangel Raphael from the east. The element of air and of joy and of laughter and of fun and of healing. Letting go of all those limiting beliefs, just allowing him to assist us in being open to the new. And Archangel Uriel from the north, and completing these cycles, helping this death and rebirth. Any of those things that aren't serving us anymore. Helping to provide that stability and that balance, that groundedness, that level playing field to start from. And I want you to keep moving along these bricks, this beautiful brick road, this golden brick road that's being laid out for you. As you come to the first spirit guide, the first spirit animal, perhaps, that you're ready to learn a lesson from, connected to the heart, connected to love, connected to relationships, asking for any wisdom that they have, any healings that they have, anything they can give you. What is it that you need to know about your love, about your relationship, about where you need to be with love? Is it something that you need to create more of in your life? Are there people around you that could show you more love, that you could show more love to, that would create more of what you want in life? Notice what this guide is, if you can actually see it. Maybe a mentor, maybe an ancestor, maybe something you've never seen before. Just notice, do you feel it in your body? Did your heart do a little skip? Did you feel that anywhere in your physical body as you connected with them? Just ask them if there's any messages that they could give you that will help you to create more love and healing for your heart and your life. Feeling loving yourself coming in really strongly. Doing the things that a person that would love themselves would do. Treating yourself with love, treating others with the most amount of love that you can. It feels so good. And keeping on walking down this path, gaining more enlightenment of who your true authentic self is, who you really are, who you aspire to be, what feels good, what feels authentic, what feels true. When you go to the next spirit guide that you see, it may just be a tree. It feels like it's more natural. Maybe an old Mother Earth tree that you can ask for some wisdom from regarding your physical body, your physical being, your disciplines that you need to do right now, those things that you need to do to connect more physically. What's something that's been stopping you? What's something that feels really good? And thank these wise advisors so you get a little bit of information to keep going forward to your true authentic path. And as we take a few more steps forward, we're grateful for these teachings. We're grateful for these mentors. We thank them, we hug them. They can come with us on this path like Dorothy does. And I want you to see things starting to go a little bit more into Technicolor. I want you to see a little bit more of this life that you could have been imagining, this more of this life that you want to create, this more of what you want, more of what's important to you. As you meet your next spirit guide, your next mentor, perhaps this one feels galactic or extraplanetary. This is one of the Arcturians, perhaps, or Palladians that are coming in to help you with the teachings of being a starseed, steering you towards your mental and your emotional, true, authentic self. What it is that you need to create more of in your life around this. What can you do for your spiritual path, your emotional path? Can you be a little more gentle on yourself? Is it really incorporating and integrating some of these things you already know? You have it all right now. You have all the information you need. What is it you need to spend time doing? Maybe going back to a course you already have bought and maybe explore something a little bit more. Maybe just go inside your heart a little bit more. Yoga, movement. What is it that really needs to amplify your mental and emotional health? And last but not least, we're going to go and thank this guide, this interplanetary galactic being on your path, bringing them with you. As you go to meet your last spirit guide, your last ascended master here, someone who's very wise that is going to help you with your energetic aura, your spiritual growth, Just asking if there's any messages that they want to share with you. Just being in their space, you can feel the wisdom, the witchiness, the wise lessons, teachings, ancestral teachings. The ones that are meant for you, not the ones that have been holding you back, not the ones that were steering you away, but to bring you more in alignment with your path. What is it that they would love to just share with you right now? What is it that you've been meant to do on an energetic level? Bringing it back to when you were little. What's something you used to love doing before someone told you you couldn't? Something that just brought you joy, something that just brought you peace. And now thank this mentor and bring them all walking with you as you go to meet the Wizard of Oz, this great behind the curtain, soul directional area. I want you to go back down this path, following those bricks wherever they're leading you. And I want you to see that at the end, there's this little place, this little temple to create a healing, to create a space where your body can go into, like a little chamber, and get all of the last downloads and all of the last uploads from this beautiful full moonlight. Just imagining that exactly where the moonlight meets with the yellow brick road has this little chamber for you to go step inside, this galactic crystal light chamber. You can open the door. The door's always been there. You just needed to step inside and go in and get the last of these downloads, these uploads, these light codes, these activations, this cleansing, this clearing, allowing your body to be scanned by all the little computers, to be scanned by all of the superconscious codes, everything that's been trying to go into your path, trying to help you to see the light. Allow this light to just enter into your body, your physical, your mind, your emotional, your spiritual, and your energetic levels as all of these new upgrades come from this beautiful full moonlight. Everything about where you're going, what you're meant to do, what will bring you the highest and best version of yourself, what will bring you on the highest and most divine path for collective and personal growth. Just allow yourself to consciously get these intentional upgrades from the earth, from the moon. Taking a nice deep breath in this chamber, just allowing your breath to cleanse out anything from the internal that needs to be released. And offer now anything that you're ready to let go of, anything that you know, this anger that's been coming up, or this feeling, or this jumping down throats, or this whatever these things you've been doing that you haven't been liking, that's just really been bugging you, that you're ready to let go of. I want you to imagine that you've written them down on a paper right now and you're holding them up to the moonlight, and it's just literally burning away, evaporating, turning into particles that are just being floated up into the moonlight. Anything you're ready to let go of, anything you know of, anything you don't know of, anything on the physical realm, anything on the energetic realm, anything in the spiritual, the mental, emotional, letting go the anxiety, letting go the grief, letting go the shame, letting go these heavy emotions that we don't need to carry anymore, knowing that we've dealt with them as best we can, choosing now with the intention to let them go. In this chamber, anything just gets evaporated right then and there, drawn out of the system like magic. When you're ready, you can come out of the chamber, and your spirit guides are all waiting there for you, and they're so glad that you took their advice, and they want to just give you hugs and love. You feel it from all directions. And knowing that this path is now fully lit and you've been down it, you've seen it, you can come here at any time. I want you to thank all of the ascended masters and the messengers and the helpers and the spirit guides that came tonight to speak with you. Know that they're always holding space for you. When you're ready, you can come on back and open your eyes. I had in my head thought that I would probably do a bit of a recode tonight, but that was just like exactly what it needed to be with all of the light codes and exchanging going on. It felt like it was all cleansing and literally realigning in the superconscious field. So I hope that was nice for you guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for spending your full moon with me. I do encourage you to go and do a little bit of writing, set your pen to paper tonight, just asking some of those questions, looking at what you were grateful for, asking what it is that needs to be let go of right now, is asking what those things are. If it's the self-doubt, if it's the, I'm tired, I'm just tired of not being seen, I'm just tired of this or that. It's really time to be able to make those shifts. So it's very well supported, powerful time. It's not scary, but it is good to know how quickly things can happen and how much control we really do have over this sometimes. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the comments in the chat. I'm sending huge love to you all. There's so much to talk about with this incredible full moon. So I look forward to our Wednesday group next week. And where we'll probably still dive into a little bit more shadow work as we wrap up this week. It's just going to be good to just clear all of this stuff out of the field, because it's going to feel so good to just have that movement forward, to really be able to reintegrate back into ourselves and really start to make these good choices, these healthy boundaries for ourselves, because I think a lot of that is what it really comes down to. So if anybody, I'm just going to double check the chat. If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to ask. And other than that, I will stop the live stream. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.